Bethesda has revealed quite a bit about Fallout 76. New locations, new creatures, but best of all, new weapons. These are 7 new weapons in Fallout 76 that have never appeared in Fallout before. Number 7. MG42. One of the most well-known weapons of World War II makes its way to Fallout in Fallout 76. Our first glimpse at the MG42 is when the player character shoots into the woods after a missile almost hits him or her. The gun fires 22 rounds in less than a second, fitting in with its real-world rate of fire of up to 1500 rounds per minute or 25 rounds per second. The MG42 fires a 7.92 by 57mm Mauser round, which, according to my research, is roughly comparable to a 30-06. Fallout 76 is using a slightly upgraded version of Fallout 4's creation engine. There was no 7.92 by 57mm round in Fallout 4. However, the radium rifle from Far Harbor is based on the Volksempfänger, a German World War II era rifle that fired the 7.92 by 57mm round. The radium rifle instead used the 45 round. I'd hazard a guess that the MG42 will also use the 45 round, if Fallout 76 doesn't introduce a lot of new ammo types. Something else I noticed was that the MG42 starts with 75 rounds in its magazine, whereas the real-world rifle only had 50 round or 250 round magazines. Number 6. Black Powder Rifle. This weapon is pretty vague because its name is incredibly generic. It's similar to the rifle-based weapon from Fallout 4 in that respect. In fact, quite literally all we know is that it's in the game, as a screenshot showed the text Black Powder Rifle added in the top left corner of the screen as the player adds it to their inventory. What it looks like, what sort of mods it will have, and everything else remains a mystery. What we do sort of have is a general idea of how much damage it will deal. In NoClip's Making of Fallout 76 documentary, we can see a black powder pistol at roughly 22 minutes into the video. It's a level 10 pistol firing a 50 caliber ball to deal 108 damage. If nothing else, we know that the black powder rifle will pack a serious punch. Number 5. Flintlock Pistol. We first see the flintlock pistol after the player holsters their MG42 at the Fallout 76 E3 reveal. It's a relatively small gun, but it does a lot of damage, downing P. Garvey, a level 22 player, in a single shot, then blowing his head off with a second shot. Now, we don't know enough about Fallout 76 to know if 22 is a high or low level. However, we do know that the damage dealt isn't based on the difficulty setting, since the game is online. It also makes sense that the flintlock pistol would deal some serious damage because of how long it takes to reload. High risk, high reward. Miss a shot, and you're likely screwed. Number 4. M2 Browning. Another classic American machine gun, the M2 Browning will be in Fallout 76. Unlike the MG42, the M2's caliber was in Fallout 4, the 50 caliber, so it probably won't need too many changes to fit into Fallout 76. Because we only see the weapon equipped on other players, we don't know how many rounds its magazine will hold in-game. The M2 is a fully automatic 50 caliber rifle, and in-game, it is shown with a squad of players in power armor, suggesting that it's a late-game weapon similar to the Gauss rifle or Fat Man. If you think about it, that's where the M2 belongs. It wouldn't make much sense for some baby-faced vault dweller fresh out of Vault 76 to be wielding this 80+ pound machine gun. Number 3. Single Action Revolver. This is similar to the black powder rifle because all we have is a name. There's some text on screen saying it's been added to your inventory, and that's it. Now, single action revolvers have been in Fallout before. The 357 revolver from New Vegas was a single action. The difference here is that the weapon itself is called the single action revolver, rather than just being the type of weapon it is. Give me shit for being misleading with this one, it won't hurt my feelings. My guess, based solely off of its name, is that it will be a class or type of revolver that does less damage than a double action revolver, because weapon jamming from New Vegas will be implemented into Fallout 76. In New Vegas, the 357 revolver didn't jam, so the single action revolver will be a more reliable weapon compared to its other revolver counterparts, but it will not be as powerful because of it. Number 2. Melee weapons. There were some new melee weapons shown in the various gameplays of Fallout 76 that have been released. They're not like super sledges or power fists. They're simple, so I lumped them all together. Among them are a sickle, a wrench, and a pitchfork. There's not really a whole lot to talk about with these. There's nothing all that special about them, given the fact that Fallout 76 is using Fallout 4's legendary system for enemies and weapons. These melee weapons should also have unique/legendary variants available. Number 1. Nukes. Nuclear weapons have been in past Fallout games, most notably in Fallout New Vegas' Lonesome Road DLC, where you could set them off with a remote detonator, also in the form of Fat Mans, a staple Fallout weapon. But this time it's different. Now we have direct control over when and where the nuke will be launched. They're probably not Tsar Bomba level nukes. The Tsar Bomba is currently the most powerful nuclear weapon ever created. My limited research indicates to me that there aren't any nuclear missile silos in West Virginia. However, we do know from what's been shown of Fallout 76 that there are nuclear missile silos in-game in West Virginia, so how powerful the nukes we'll have access to remains to be seen. However, it is safe to assume that they'll be the most powerful weapons we have ever had access to in Fallout. Alright, that's going to do it for this video about 7 new weapons in Fallout 76 that have never been in Fallout before. If you enjoyed the video or learned anything, leave a like. Leave a dislike if you didn't enjoy the video or didn't learn anything. Follow me on Twitter @MittenSquad. My name is Paul of Mitten Squad. Have a wonderful day.